Download Galatea to get access to hundreds of romance books and audiobooks. Link in the description. It's time for this week's Galatea new release roundup. Stay tuned to hear about some of our new releases and get a sneak peek into the first chapters. First up, the Carrero series, Book 2, The Carrero Influence, written by L.T. Marshall. Emma has had her entire world turned upside down and not for the better. Jake, the only man in her life she has ever been able to trust, has gone. Her perfect job is a distant memory. Her future is bleak. She has lost the cool facade she spent years perfecting and has been left in a desolate slump, trying to claw back some form of normality. She is heartbroken until Jake walks straight back into her life. However, this time there's baggage from the past. Will there be something more between them? Can they overcome the challenges? Chapter 1. The subway to work is crowded as usual, even at this early hour. The smell and noise are overwhelming. I'm overly fragile, and nausea plagues me these days. The stress of moving offices and away from Jake is making me physically ill. I check my watch for the 50th time this morning. I'm late again. What the hell is wrong with me lately? I groan inwardly. I can't seem to get my head together or get back on track with anything. Giovanni Carrero has yelled at me so often these last 3 weeks that I feel like resigning. He's demoted me to coffee bearer for now, and I'm slowly losing everything I've worked for. My reputation as an efficient PA is shot. I've heard the rumors about me circulating the building, that Jake Carrero dismissed me for my incompetence and moved me to his father's building because he felt sorry for me. That stings. The lies upset me, but I push them down into the depths of my mind along with everything else about Jake Carrero. It's better than people knowing the truth. The stupid, naive PA fell in love with her boss, and he didn't feel the same way. That truth hurts more than rumors and lies ever could. His father has more assistance than he needs, but he likes to be surrounded by a swarm of servants. Yet still, I am surplus to requirements. Instead, I've become a glorified receptionist without a desk, tasks, or responsibilities. I am that person who is asked to do the menial things, like hauling files to the library, making trips to Starbucks, and serving hot drinks to stuffed shirts when a meeting is in full swing. It just adds to the rumors that I am useless. My life is over. I've thought about leaving many times, scanning the classifieds in the paper almost every chance I get. But something always holds me back. More like someone. Somehow, still working for the Carrero Corporation is my link to Jake, and I'm not ready to let him go just yet if I ever will be. Even though I haven't seen or heard from him, the pain is still too raw. This is the true definition of being frozen out, and even the office gossips don't seem to know anything about what's going on in Jake's life since he dismissed me. I guess that's the whole point of keeping his staff small and in his trust. Unlike his father, who has an army of minions, everyone seems to know Senior Carrero's business. He's so public about many things, loud and commanding. He yells at staff frequently and isn't shy about his movements or dragging an entourage with him wherever he goes. He has a mix of security, assistants, and God knows who else, always crowded around him, pandering to his every whim. I miss Jake's less inflated, uncomplicated character. He only ever needed me, as ironic as that is. I walk the last block to my new office building. It stands tall and blindingly bright. Another column of pointy glass and harsh edges, just like Executive House where Jake's office is. A sharp, knife-looking column amid the Manhattan corporates, standing as tall as most. I shudder. I hate working here. I hate everything about this place. I miss what I had at Executive House in so many ways beyond Jake. The sterile interior is uninviting, and the staff at Carrero Tower are always so afraid to step out of line under the command of Senior. The relaxed aura of Executive House is absent in this building, and I never thought I'd see the day I missed Jake's laxness and personal touch. The atmospheres between the two are so different. The receptionist casts me a disapproving look as I shuffle past in a hurry, and I know I look disheveled. I had slept in, rushed about, and practically got dressed while running out the door. This shorter, wavy style of my hair is always doing its own thing nowadays, but I simply don't care anymore. I glare back at her icily to cut off her stare. Yes, I'm late. I don't fucking care. She glances away fast. She's met my anger before. On my third day here, she spilled coffee down my cream pencil skirt when passing, so I unleashed teen Emma in a rather grand fashion. I'd been a touchy, aggressive nightmare those first few days, and one wrong word got her the tongue lashing from hell. My face twists into a snarl as I think of the calm and controlled Emma of the past, who was always so poised. Where is she now? She's jumped off a goddamn bridge. I can't seem to muster her of late, no matter what. I miss her. Jake Carrero killed her. Weeks of tears can do that to a person. I drop my bag and cell on a desk in the office among the sea of temp desks. It's pretty much a free-for-all where you sit when you need a seat. I miss having my own office and space, but it's not like I deserve it anymore. The inclination to run and organize my new boss's life has deserted me. I have zero interest in his calendar or responsibilities. I'm a train wreck nowadays and probably couldn't organize an alcoholic party in a brewery. My cell vibrates across the table. Sarah's name lights up the screen along with her face, brightening it with a grinning selfie. She's my best friend and roommate, but she knows not to bother me here. She never calls me at work, so concern rises in my stomach as I reach for it. Sarah, what is it? I ask in a clipped tone laced with nervous apprehension, inner dread rising that something is wrong. At least I still have anxiety by my side. Nothing changed there then. Emma, I'm sorry to bother you at work. I know you don't like it, but your mother is here, she mumbles sheepishly, then silences at my angry gasp of air. What the? I cut myself off, glancing around the room for listening ears. There are a couple of assistants milling about, so I lower my voice, bringing my mouth to the receiver to quietly hiss, "What the hell is she doing there?" I know I shouldn't take this out on Sarah. She's only the messenger. But I'm seething from every pore at the mere mention of Jocelyn Anderson's appearance. This weak, pathetic woman chose yet another abusive boyfriend over sense or logic. She has no right to show up like this, invading my life after what she's done. She says she came to see you, to talk. What shall I do with her, Ems? I need to leave for work soon. I'm on an early shift today. She sounds genuinely upset, knowing she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, but my girl knows which side she should be rooting for if she has any sense. I take a steadying breath, pushing down my internal rage to remain calm and adjust my tone to neutral. Show her the door, I reply bluntly. I need to get back to work, Sarah. Goodbye. Emma, but... I hang up quickly. I know Sarah will try to talk me around, but I can't deal with this right now. I can't deal with anything lately. I just need everything in my messed up, pitiful life to take 10 steps back, give my brain time to stop reeling and find its feet again. The last few weeks have been one constant headache, and I'm drowning. I can barely breathe with it all. My cell rings again, but I reject the call. Sarah is persistent, more so of late since the changes in me have hit her hard. I feel like she's been smothering me with overprotectiveness. She doesn't know this version of me, this unraveling mess of tears and bad moods, the forgetful behavior, or the chaos I'm leaving in my wake. I think even she longs for a hint of the old Emma to come back, and I'm trying, for both our sakes. Her insecurity over my new persona is evident and upsetting. Somehow the mention of my mother has flipped a little switch inside me, though, and a wave of numbness seeps in as the IC-controlled part of PA Emma takes hold. I'll have to deal with my mother at some point, just not right now, and it only angers me further that she thinks she can waltz in unannounced as though I owe her my time. I lift my chin defiantly. That's right. Use the anger to fuel your return. Cling to that tiny piece of defiance and get your goddamn life back on track. I am relieved to feel the tiny flicker of fire burning deep down inside my belly once more. You're still in there, Emma. You can do this. Walking into the boardroom, I catch sight of the mess left behind from the breakfast meeting I have obviously missed. Not that I care. I sigh heavily since I will have to clear this up, despite this floor paying cleaners to keep the place tidy, but they usually only appear after hours. I pout about the monotonous tasks that have become mine. It's so deflating, considering I used to travel the world as the right hand of an accomplished CEO. What the hell has happened to me? This time last month, I was PA to Jake Carrero. I was organizing his entire life, sitting in 5-star hotels and poring over contracts with him. We were friends, and the whole time I was trying to ignore the fact I was head over heels in love with him. I shake my head, discarding the thoughts that come uninvited into my mind, and start picking up the scattered documents and brochures from the table and returning them to the cart to be filed away. I stack the empty mugs and plates on the catering trolley by the door. At least I can lose myself in cleaning up this room and bring some calm back to the chaos in my head. I submerge my brain into the task of deep cleaning the space of the mess made by its previous occupants. Hopefully, this focus will rub off on my thoughts and help me get back to myself. Did you enjoy this first chapter of the Carrero series, Book 2? Download Galatea now and get access to the whole book. Out on May 3rd. Available exclusively on Galatea. Next up, we'll be showcasing the release of Destined series Book 1, Scarred Luna, written by Ahana Rose. No 17-year-old expects to find their mate, but Kara's journey took an unexpected turn when she discovered hers. And to her surprise, it was none other than Zane, one of the most powerful alphas in the world. The twist? Kara was considered damaged goods in her pack, facing judgment and exclusion after her parents' death. As their connection deepens, they soon realize that their familiars hold dark secrets that threaten to tear them apart. Will Kara and Zane be able to unravel the mysteries of their past and find a way to forge a future together? Join them on an adventure filled with love, loyalty, and the quest for the truth. Book 1, Scarred Luna. Prologue. Lycoa, Greece, 373 BC. As I lie on the hard marble floor of my home, the echoes of destruction reverberate through the air. The sight of my once beautiful city, now engulfed in flames and crumbling before my eyes, is absolutely heart-wrenching. The pain and despair are palpable as I gaze upon the aftermath of the battle. My sword, a loyal companion throughout the fight, lies beside me, a symbol of the courage and strength I summoned. But despite the countless lichens I cut down, it is too late. The damage has been done, and my city, my home, has been reduced to ashes. Lytus, I whisper, my voice barely audible amid the chaos and destruction. My mentor and friend appears before me, and I watch him take in the devastating scene. Once he's registered the horror, he walks toward me, his steps deliberate and measured, until he comes to kneel down beside me, meeting my gaze at eye level. The word I utter is filled with exhaustion, sorrow, and longing. Celine. I keep my gaze fixed on Lytus, the man who has been with me through thick and thin, unwavering in his loyalty and guidance. And yet, it is in this profound moment, as flames consume our city, that he shakes his head, his eyes filled with a mix of sadness and determination. Something feels different, I realize, and doubts swirl within me as I question his actions and intentions. You knew. He does not say a word, but his silence says it all. I give a small laugh and look away from him. She knew. My friend whispers. By the time I found out, it was too late. The deed was done. I close my eyes gently as I allow myself to be consumed by the searing pain from deep within my being. In the darkness, behind my eyelids, memories of my beautiful mate and our precious daughters play out before me. Their radiant smiles, bursting with love and joy, would illuminate my world every time I returned home. I can still taste the delicious meals my mate prepared tirelessly, pouring her heart and soul into each dish. To think that, after centuries of solitude, I would be blessed with such a breathtaking gift, only for it to be mercilessly snatched away before my very eyes. And by whom? My blood, my own son, turned into a monster that will forever haunt the corridors of my heart. The devastating truth of their brutal demise lingers like a gaping wound, a ghostly specter that refuses to fade. Every detail of that dreadful night replays in my mind's eye relentlessly. The piercing screams, the scent of blood mingling with the acrid stench of betrayal. It feels as though the walls of my world have crumbled and are crashing down in a crescendo of despair. The weight of grief settles like an everlasting burden upon my chest, as I grapple with the unimaginable tragedy that has forever altered the course of my existence. Through the ache and the anguish, I try to grasp happier memories, the moments we shared, the love that flowed between us like an eternal flame. They may be gone physically, but their spirits reside deep within me, and I have no doubt they will guide me through the dark nights to come. The pain is raw and relentless, but I find solace in the thought that their light will forever shine, no matter how black the world becomes. What am I to do, Lytus? My home has been destroyed, my family taken away from me, and my son is gone with more than half of our people set on destroying the humans. Lytus stands and turns toward me with a determined look on his face. The destruction of your city is not the end. Your people live. Your family may have been taken from you in this lifetime, but there will be many other lifetimes in which they can come back to you. Lytus sticks his hand out. But give up now, and you will never see your people or your family again. I wear my confusion and curiosity in my gaze as I meet Lytus's eyes. What are you talking about? The Fates enjoy playing their games, especially with those who they believe have slighted them. You may have lost everything on this day, but you will regain everything taken from you. I promise you this. He takes a step closer to me. Now get up and fight. I gaze at his outstretched hand, my mind swirling with conflicting emotions. Should I grasp it, allowing him to guide me through this torment? Or should I succumb to the pain that threatens to engulf me? Deep within my heart, I already know the answer. Despite the odds stacked against me, I must summon the strength to keep fighting, even if victory seems impossible. With a firm grip, I clutch onto my friend's hand, feeling the surge of strength as he lifts me up effortlessly. As I rise, I reach for my sword, using it as a makeshift support to steady myself. Lytus places his hand on my shoulder, and a radiant glow emanates from his touch. The luminous energy begins to envelop my body, spreading warmth and healing throughout every fiber of my being. In an instant, the excruciating pain and the life-threatening wounds vanish and are replaced by a renewed sense of strength and vitality. I pause for a moment, taking in the somber scene. The once lively and joyful hall is now a haunting reminder of the despair and dread that has befallen us. Memories of laughter and feasts come to me, a stark contrast to the lifeless bodies that now lie before me. But then, amid the stillness, movement catches my eye. Without thinking, my hand rises and I find myself gripping the throat of a man suspended in the air. Anger and pain surge through me, fueling my strength as I squeeze. I am consumed by a mix of emotions I cannot fully identify. I missed one. The man starts clawing at my hand. Nyctimus, please. I close my eyes and look into the mind of this depraved being. I can sense the weight of those memories, the pain and the anger. It's hard to put into words how it felt when those traitors barged into my home, catching my mate and daughters off guard. We fought with all our might, taking down enemy after enemy. But it was an impossible battle. The sheer number of them overwhelmed us. I recall watching my mate, standing tall and fearless, prepared to sacrifice everything, only to be subjected to unspeakable torture and rape in front of our daughters. The same fate befell each of them, one by one. I open my eyes, locking my gaze on the man before me. Fear dances in his eyes, a reflection of the imminent danger. In a moment of raw intensity, I tighten my grip around his throat, feeling the power coursing through my veins. Then I release my hold and with a swift and decisive movement, I swing my sword and cut the man in half. Two distinct pieces fall to the ground, and blood flows out of his upper and lower halves. I lift my sword and clean the blood off with my sleeve. What's next? Selene and Axiom were able to get those loyal to you to safety, Lytus says from behind me. Only I know their location, and they have been instructed to keep moving until told otherwise. Axiom? Dead. There is finality in his voice. He grants me the mercy of a small moment to myself, then walks up to stand beside me. Periphetes believes you are dead. Use that. Bide your time until you are strong again, until your people are strong again. I turn to my mentor, my friend, letting him see the pain and anguish in my frown. Then what? I have lost everything. My mate, my daughters, my home. I will never get back what I once had. Lytus places his hand on my shoulders, his voice filled with wisdom and compassion. We are mere threads in the vast tapestry of life, and as individuals entrusted with strength, it is our duty to protect the vulnerable, even if it means sacrificing those closest to us. But fear not, for the fates are not unjust. What has been taken from you will be returned one way or another. The words echo in my mind, their resonance growing stronger with each repetition. What has been taken will be returned, I murmur softly, as if trying to weave them into the very fabric of my being. I will avenge this loss, even if it takes 1,000 lifetimes. Did you enjoy this first chapter of Destined Mate Series Book 1, Scarred Luna? Download Galatea now and get access to the whole book. Out on April 30th. Available exclusively on Galatea. And finally, let's hear about the subscriber-only release of Fighting Darius Book 2, Russian Roulette, written by Nicole Ridley. 4 years after defeating the rebel forces, Darius and Penny have settled into their lives in California. The pack plans a whirlwind trip to St. Petersburg, but Penny feels something is wrong. Their perfect honeymoon is cut short when Penny falls ill. Darius searches for answers with someone he never thought he could trust. The pack learns the rebels are back with a vengeance. They are the only people who can prevent the downfall of the royal Lycan family. Thanks for joining our weekly new release roundup. Happy reading! Download Galatea to get access to hundreds of romance books and audiobooks. Link in the description.